All right, so during the break there, what happened on the live stream is actually Travis Reeder was to go against Crick Filippi, but Crick is unable to fix his vehicle for the live stream fans, so Travis Reeder advances on into the Grade 8. That was a quick buy run for him, so we advance on to our next battle. Interestingly enough, I was told by Josh Robinson spotter that he had rack issues yesterday, so now he pulls out for top 16. He's unable to fix his car. He's on a competition timeout, so let's move on to Ola Jaeger versus Trent Beecham. Ola Jaeger from Norway going against Trent Beecham. Ola throws it out there. Beecham shuts it down, has some major issues there. He turns it back on, and Ola Jaeger has his way through the course. Nice job by the race officials, almost throwing the yellow flag, but he does not. And Beecham crawling around this course. Wonder what happened to Beecham. I'm sure he'll call a competition timeout for the second half of this battle. But Ola Jaeger back up the hill, and he'll have the obvious advantage here going against Beecham, who already quickly into that first clipping point shuts it down. Let's take a look at this again here, Ryan.
Yeah, you can see Jaeger right there initiates at that last standing cone. Beecham trying to keep pace here, but big angle, not able to hold it. And then we lose him out of the camera line here, but that's because he stopped and shut it down. So Ola Jaeger does need to finish out the run here unless there is a danger in his way as they do cross back down on the course. There's no danger there, so he would finish the run. He comes across the finish line cleanly, so he will have a very large advantage here, as Trenton Beecham will have an incomplete.
All right, so coming up next, again, the second half of this battle, and Beecham just going right for it, straight out of the gates, and seeming to have an issue, but not too, I don't know, not too small that he needs to fix it, or not too big because he knows he's just got to throw caution in the wind. Well, this is going to be interesting for Ola Jaeger because now he is going to be chasing down a Beecham, which he just saw him, or did not see him, but ideally his spotter told him, hey, you know what, he just shut it down, so you're going to have to accommodate for this. Here we go. Jaeger in the lead position Beecham in that lead position. Jaeger in the chase position. Beecham looks like he is running healthy now, as Beecham gets into those gator strips, no problem, but then into that second outer zone. Now Ola Jaeger needs to play it systematically. He knows that Beecham has a disadvantage here, but Jaeger not backing down. Seems like he's giving himself maybe a little bit of distance here, but not enough for it to be an inactive chase. So good job for Beecham, but unfortunately, I gotta say it's too little too late for Beecham as Jaeger chased him down properly.
Yeah, you can see here it would really require an incomplete from Ola Jaeger on this second run, but Jaeger gives him a pretty good run for his money, keeps himself back just a little bit, but stays in contention here. Great job by Beecham out front, filling that second outer zone, nice and tight there on that inside clip. Smooth transition coming down the hill here, fighting for every opportunity, but it's not gonna happen this time with that incomplete on run one. Ola Jaeger passes the finish line without making any major mistakes, and he should move on into the Grade 8.
All right, so as we are waiting for the outcome here, you have to assume that the needle is going to go towards Jaeger. Scores are in. And again, slide them left for Beecham, right for Jaeger, and Ola Jaeger gets the victory. Ola Jaeger gets the win and advances on into the Grade 8. So the Norwegian driver, Ola Jaeger, moves on as Trenton Beecham gets knocked out. So unfortunate for Beecham. As we move on to our next battle, is it to be, and it looks like Josh Robinson is rolling in the Robo-Roo Holden Ute, the Oz Camino, coming all the way from Australia. As Josh Robinson warms it up, again, a lot of horsepower here underneath this Holden Ute. 2 tires only available, Achilles and Nexen, let's say 2 tires accommodating the Pro 2 Championship. As now it looks like Kelsey Rawlings, the only female in competition through both Pro and Pro 2. Kelsey Winnings, nice, I like it. Attaboy, Brooks Church, congratulations on your new marriage. Happy to see you, Mrs. Church. Talking about you, Brooks. All right, so Kelsey Rawlings, the Ford power plant. under the hood of the S14. As Kelsey, you can see, slow crawl there, warming up her tires in the burnout box. Now gets some ground here. Josh Robinson waiting on the start line. Kelsey Rawlings will lead. Josh Robinson. All right, so Josh Robinson will lead. He qualified 8th compared to Kelsey Rawlings 9th. So he will be leading in this battle. Who's going to go against Travis Reeder in the grade 8? Looks like Robinson through the start chicane. We got a clean start. Robinson in that lead position on Nexen Tires, throws it in. Robinson approaches. Oh, buddy. Looks like the Holden Ute gets into the gravel, comes back out on course. That's going to be way too late, unfortunately, for Robinson. As Josh Robinson makes his way through the rest of the course, Ryan, it looked exciting, and trucks and utes are meant to go off-road, but not into that kitty litter, bud.
Yeah, just a little overextended here. You can see he initiates very quickly, but he immediately gets on the brakes there, and then just so much force and momentum. That heavy vehicle goes off into the kitty litter. He's able to pull it back out, surprisingly, and get back out on course there, but I have to imagine the judges are going to give that an incomplete. And you can see as both drivers wrap around the hill here, tons of smoke, and you can see the lights at night really challenging, especially when the big plumes come out there in certain segments of the course. So we've got one run in books of 2, and now we'll switch things up.
All right, so with Josh Robinson going into the kitty litter, the gravel, bringing it back on course, we will clean that up. You can already see if you're here in the building, you can already see quickly expediting that. Road Atlanta, thank you for having us, and thank you for quickly getting that expedited. As Kelsey Rawlings will now lead, Josh Robinson will give chase. All right, so the course cleaner back parked in position, and Kelsey Rawlings will now lead. She has an advantage here. Kelsey Rawlings, Ford power plant under the hood of the S14. And looks like we are clear to send. Little thumbs up there from Robinson. Who's going against Reeder in the grade 8? We're about to find out. Is it Rawlings or Robinson? Rawlings out of the gate. Robinson, that big Holden Ute in that chase position. Rawlings into that first clip. She keeps her composure. Robinson now. Whoa, some sparks being thrown. He had some problems with his rack. Robinson sweating Rawlings. Robinson with a very aggressive chase job. That is a loud and proud car, but Rawlings keeps her composure, surprisingly, with that kangaroo about to punch. But looks like Kelsey Rawlings will keep her composure, and it looks like Kelsey will be Kelsey Winnings.
Well, very aggressive chase there from Josh Robinson, but Kelsey Rawlings hold it together. She got a little late jump on that initiation. Didn't get it fully to angle, but she had to know from her spotter, really just go out there and do the best lead run that you can. Josh is going to have to fight for it, and that's what Josh does here. He tries to attack on the inside, really pushing the pace, trying to close the door on Kelsey as they wrap around this last turn, sweeping through that inside touch and go. Josh through that smoke line, trying to force a mistake from Kelsey, but does not happen. You can see right here, diving in on the inside, getting super close here. Big sparks being thrown from Josh Robinson. He makes a little bit of a mistake in doing that, and then again, surging forward there, almost losing his line. Let's take a look at it from this angle. As you can see, Josh will surge here on the inside. Kelsey holding big angle there, and the run is done.
So good thing is that Kelsey Rawlings will advance on, go and slide him left. A great performance there by Kelsey. Unfortunately for Josh, he is knocked out. The good thing for Kelsey, she's advancing on. The bad potential thing is, but hey, you know what? Anybody could make it happen, but she's going to be going against Travis Reeder, who's our #1 qualifier in the Great 8. So again, Kelsey Rawlings will go against Reeder. Next up, our next battle will be Andy Haley versus Troy Manners. All right, so here we go. Sorry. With our next battle, Andy Haley. And that of Squirt, Troy Manners. And we got a clean start. And here we go. Andy Haley out front initiates. Troy Manners, Squirt back there quite a bit. Andy Haley wraps around that first clip. Squirt needs to gain some ground here. Andy Haley, consistent angle coming into the first and now the second outer zone. Tighten it up to the front clip. And out of the horseshoe goes Andy Haley past that touch and go. Troy Manners keeps an equal amount of distance throughout the course.
So Andy Haley getting a good start here. You can see looking pretty nice and loose on that initiation, just taps that inside. But right here you can see Troy Manners makes a mistake. He loses a lot of ground to Andy Haley. Haley trying to reach deep into this second outer zone, does a pretty good job there. Troy trying to close the door through that first inside clip, but then Haley's back on the gas, smooth down the hill, right on that inside touch and go, and then wrapping around that last corner with big separation there between both drivers.
All right, so now we will see Troy Manners lead and Andy Haley giving chase. As the smoke settles, yeah, minimal wind here, so the smoke really lingering. If everybody could blow at the same time, we'll get the smoke out of here and continue on with the action. But again, the lights and with the smoke, hopefully we get to, you know, the Pro 2 vehicles not kicking out a ton of smoke compared to the Pro vehicles, but hopefully we get some wind tomorrow. Ideally, it'll blow out a lot of the smoke. All right, so again, this is a variable that the drivers just have to deal with, the smoke lingering here. The vision is not only difficult for the drivers, but the judges want to make sure they have a clear shot both on replay and to the naked eye of what transpires here on course. So here we go, Troy Manners out front, Andy Haley in that chase position again. Nexen and Achilles Tires outfitting the Pro 2 drivers. Troy Manners clean into that first clip. Now Troy Manners brings it into that first outer zone. And now into the second, doesn't get all the way out there. Andy Haley shallows up his line properly. Andy bringing it out of, and Troy Manners now turns on the smoke machine. And around that final clip, what say you, Ryan Sage?
Well, remember, the judges are looking at both leads together, both chases together, and who did better overall. I think Haley did better in the chase runs. You can see here, he keeps the pressure on. He didn't make that mistake where Troy made back here. There's a little bit of separation, but remember, Troy was way far behind Haley in his lead run. You can see Haley keeping the pressure on, coming down the hill here, about 2 car lengths Troy out front, trying to extend as far as he possibly can, fighting for every inch, but Haley keeps him in eyes distance.
Results are in. Who's going to get the victory? Slide him left for Manor, slide him right for Haley. And Andy Haley gets the victory unanimously. Congratulations to the great-looking E30 that is Andrew Haley. Unfortunately for Pittsburgh's own, Troy Manners, a.k.a. Squirt, is knocked out. So we already have 4 drivers in the Great 8. Four drivers halfway through the top 16. The Achilles Radial top 16, I might add, as we are now on the second half of this top 16 bracket. And this is the Dozer, Dylan Hughes. He qualified second. He will be going against Adam Knapik. Adam Knapik from Orange County. Dylan Hughes from the Pacific Northwest. Operating his vehicle out of race service. What's up, Andy? In the air. Watching from Los Angeles in the race service office.
Well, the smoke is becoming a real challenge here. The wind has really died down to basically nothing, and you can see it just kind of sits in this pocket. And you get a little bit of an idea on the broadcast, but actually being here live, it seems much more of a challenge, and I can only imagine what the drivers are going through, especially coming back down the hill where you've got 3 layers of tire smoke to deal with.
Yeah, there is a lot of smoke here just lingering in this bowl. I mean, it's this natural bowl that it just sits in, and there is no wind whatsoever. And it seems like it's actually getting lower, like fog. It's probably some of the, yeah, right. Doom, 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 doom. It's like Thriller. It's close to midnight. Here we go. As Dylan Hughes, Adam Knapik. Dylan Hughes throws it in. And that LS-powered S13. Knapik in the S14. Dylan Hughes brings it into that second outer zone. Adam Knapik comes in hot. Gets all the way to the outside zone. Dylan does not get to the outside zone. Knapik does a good job in that chase position. Dylan Hughes brings it back up the hill. And there is Hughes and Knapik, a straight-up solid battle there, Ryan.
Yeah, good battle here. Dylan Hughes had that high qualification score that stood for a while, and then he passed into second. You can see he gets a good initiation here. Knapik losing some ground, but then getting on the throttle here, really surging forward. Looks like he's going to go off course, but saves it. And then Hughes hits this inside clip nice and tight here. Knapik trying to close the door as they leave the keyhole. Coming back down the hill now. Dylan Hughes throwing up a big smoke cloud, but Knapik not phased, tries to roll through it. And a good start here to this battle between Dylan Hughes and Adam Knapik.
We saw Dylan get a podium last year in Pro 2. He did kind of select rounds. He did Evergreen Speedway. We saw him get on the box. And, you know, right now, just waiting for what Dylan can do now. Adam Knapik, it's the first time for me seeing him drift. But, again, from what I've seen so far, definitely a talented driver. Adam Knapik qualified 15th. So, you know, out of a almost nearly 30-car field. So, you know, seeing a lot of vehicles come up, a lot of drivers. As now Adam Knapik will lead, Dylan Hughes will give chase. So again, the smoke still lingers like the cranberries. Here we go. Adam Knapik, Dylan Hughes gets a little shaken there right from the start, but he keeps his composure. Nice job by D-Hugh. Whoa, as he applies the pressure, look at that. Adam Knapik, a great lead run there. Dylan Hughes drops into formation right into the pocket. Really good job by Dylan Hughes. And now transitions back. Wow, Dylan Hughes, almost like pro caliber driving right there. A great execution by the Dozer, Dylan Hughes.
Well, it's a solid lead run from Adam Knapik, but a great lead run can also have a great chase. You can see Dylan does get a little phase there on initiation, but the rest of the run, he keeps the pressure on, almost tapping Adam Knapik here. Adam swinging up into the horseshoe here, trying to reach out deep into the second outer zone, does a pretty good job there, just leaves it a little bit late, and you can see it forces him off to the left-hand side of that inside clip, and that's where Dylan Hughes attacks on the inside, takes some of that distance away, keeping it close here, and then Adam finally threw that last inside clip. So good battle here overall. You can see right here as Dylan closes the door just barely misses tapping the rear bumper. And this is where Adam, he tries to come into the second outer zone, but you can see he leaves it late, leaves the door open here, and then Dylan attacks on the inside. And there's a great move coming down here, down the hill. You can see Dylan's on the inside here, not letting him get away. And then that switchback right there keeps the nose tucked in. But for Adam Knapik and Dylan Hughes, a great run. Let's take a look at this Dylan in the chase position. That's the only thing that I'm worried about with the judges, is how are they going to view that initiation by Dylan. His chase run was great outside of that. You'll see he goes to initiate right there. He kind of hesitates and then kicks it in. So that, I think, is going to be a topic of conversation amongst the judges as they review these runs and try to ascertain if any incomplete happened there from Dylan. But outside of that, solid performance by both drivers, and a great way to kick off midway point of top 16, the other side.
Halfway at top 16. All right, both Hughes and Knapik waiting for the outcome here. All right, so let's go to the judges. Slide them left for Knapik, right for Hughes. Ryan, Andy, and Brian say. One more time from Ryan. Andy says Dylan Hughes, and Brian says one more time. So they're going at it again. It's a one more time battle between Hughes and Knapik. Lontaine's going to jump onto the headset here. Ryan, Lontaine?
Yeah, the main thing that we had concern with was the initiation from Dylan Hughes. It was late, he was mid-track, and he ended up having very low angle going from initiation to inside clip 1. So in terms of a compromise that would be made by the chase car, that was pretty serious. It almost looked like a double initiation. It didn't look like his car was settled, and I think the late initiation gave him a big advantage. From Knapik, we saw some kind of a mid-proximity when he was chasing, and he had a couple of errors in the chase. So they both had errors in their chase, and I think their leads were pretty similar as well. So that's what we saw.
Right on. All right, well, two of you compared to one. Andy sided with Dylan Hughes, but both Ryan and Brian siding with the one more time. Next up, we have David Mesker, a.k.a. David Wang. I'm seeing some of these signs down here. He's from St. Louis originally. He competes in the Lone Star Drift Series. And then Kenrick Meyer from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. He's in the E36. Here we go. So you can see the power disparity here, about 430 horsepower under the hood of the E36 as Mesker takes out that first front clip, rips up that Vaptasia S14 up the hill as Mesker takes a very shallow line. First time we've seen that as Mesker, a wide swing. So getting kind of wild in the streets here as Mesker gains some ground, Meyer. So Kenrick Meyer allowed to get some ground. So Mesker seemed like he was flying away, but he didn't exactly hit all the clipping points.
Well, he's out of the gate really fast. He initiates right at that last standing cone. Means he gets right back on throttle, a little bit past that first inside clip. Big separation here. You can see a little bit of straightening from Meyer in the chase position, but really tight line by Mesker here. And then look, it pushes him way offline, and that gives an opportunity for Meyer to kind of close the door a little bit. And then coming down the hill, they're much closer together. Mesker through that last inside touch and go. So a couple mistakes by both drivers there in both the lead and chase position. So we'll switch things up. Meyer goes to the lead. Mesker will chase him down.
Yeah, buddy. All right. So again, Meyer from Doylestown, Pennsylvania, the E36. Talked about nearly 450 horsepower. And then David Mesker from St. Louis. Competes in the Lone Star Drift Series. D3 Wang. Sweet rental, bro. I hope he bought the insurance, right? All right, so if that vehicle looks familiar, that's borrowed from Forrest Wang, who competes in the Pro Championship. He's on that Vaptasia Achilles Radial S chassis. Seriously, we need everybody to pull out a fan and just start fanning, using those signs to fan out the smoke out of here. It is, so no more vaping either, because that just adds to it too. All right, so again, the plot and the smoke thickens here at Road Atlanta. Mesker, Meyer, remember one more time between Hughes and Knapik. coming down the hill. You could barely see them from this judging tower. Nice job by Meyer. Meyer out front, and Mesker back there quite a bit. Meyer into that outside zone, the first one into the second. And Meyer tightens it up as Mesker takes another wide line. Meyer, a very strong lead run here. And I gotta tell you, Meyer doing a good job there. Meyer with a strong lead run, and Mesker in the chase position. He ran the similar line, Ryan.
Well, Meyer gets some back here. You can see initiates right at that last standing cone. Mesker holds his own, but then here he falls off. You can see he's slow on that transition, allows this big separation here. Meyer out front, a little bit shaky coming up the hill, but he's able to fill that second outer zone. And again, Mesker just takes that inside line. It pushes him way wide. He's not really following Meyer as a moving clipping point, and you can see it really shows here as he's playing catch up, comes through the smoke line, but he's 4 or 5 car lengths back before he crosses the finish line. So this is the first run. You'll see Mesker out front through that first inside clip, just getting into the dirt there. Big separation as well. You can see Meyer has a little bit of a struggle in the chase position, but Mesker's not helping his cause here. You can see just really overshooting that inside clip, and then that's where Meyer starts to come in, is able to close the distance here. Remember the separation between the other two on the second run. So the judge is having to weigh a lot of mistakes by both drivers, and whether or not there is a clear outcome.
We are hearing that results are in. Does it go to one more time? Do we have a clear-cut winner in the judge's eyes? Slide him left for Kenrick Meyer and right for David Mesker, and Kenrick Meyer gets the victory. Kenrick Meyer from Doylestown, Pennsylvania gets the victory and takes out David Mesker. So, man, this smoke in dirt is just not going anywhere right now.
A lot of mistakes. He was clearly trying to get away, going too fast. He missed a lot of the zones, missed inside clip 2. It was a pretty sloppy run. Meyer, in that sense, didn't have a whole lot of opportunity to keep up, to get into a good chase position. But he ended up catching up anyway because of the mistakes that Mesker made in the lead. And then when Meyer was leading, he ended up putting together a really a much better lead run. And even though it looked like Mesker had more power on his lead and was getting away, he was not able to close the door and stay close to Mesker. To Meyer. So it ended up being a clear win for Meyer for us.
And Ryan, I got to ask you, this smoke and this dust is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
How are you guys coping with this?
Actually, from here, our viewpoint's not that bad. We can see most everything. I think the hard part might be for the drivers. If over on the track over there, it looks like it's a little bit thicker. For us, our visibility's fine, and we have good camera replays. So as you can see on the camera there, our visibility is pretty good. I worry about the drivers being able to see with their headlights through the, it's like driving through fog at night.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be tough.
All right, so the smoke being a variable here, more for the drivers than the judges. So the action will continue as we will advance on to. We'll revisit Dylan and Adam in a little bit, but right now it's Sexsmith versus Sebastien Gauthier. Riley Sexsmith, from both these guys Canadian, going against each other, both in orange cars. Sexsmith will lead compared to Sebastien Gauthier. As it seems like we are still holding a little bit for the smoke, which is, Ryan, I gotta say, this is the thickest I've ever seen this smoke looming.
Yeah, typically there's at least a small breeze, but unlike yesterday where it was great, the smoke was getting out really fast, and even this afternoon at night, sometimes it tends to die down like this.
Right.
And it does not help our cause that much at all.
No, not at all. So again, it's always a variable. We talk about the smoke signal. It is not a unit of measure. It is not a judge criteria, but it shows, the basically on throttle or off throttle. It shows just the kind of the evidence showing where the line is. Okay, looks like we're ready to go. Here we go. Riley Sexsmith versus Sebastien Gauthier. Riley Sexsmith was absolutely ripping yesterday in qualifying, but now, oh boy, and Sebastien gets into Sexsmith. And it looks like Gauthier.
Wow, that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, let's take a look at this.
You could see Sexsmith getting really squirrely right here. He drops a tire, he loses angle, now he's really slowing down, and Gauthier was anticipating, I think, that he was going to make it through that first corner without that big slowdown. And you can see right here as he drops that right rear, Gauthier is looking for the inside. There's that other mistake. He comes in a little bit deeper here, but then as Sexsmith comes back online, Gauthier is right there. I mean, obviously, in this particular case, now we have a collision. So what that means is that the judges are going to have to ascertain fault. Once that's decided, the driver that's at fault, if he does need to make repairs, will not have to use his competition timeout.
Yeah, unfortunately for Sexsmith, I think his car straightened out way too much. The attitude of the car, Gauthier initiated when Sexsmith did, but the attitude of Sexsmith's car straightens out and he gets into Gauthier, and Gauthier had nowhere to go, right?
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because both these drivers did pretty well in qualifying, and you got Sexsmith with the number 3 and Gauthier with the 14. So, you know, we're really anticipating what that battle might look like, but now basically we'll have the second half of the battle, and this first half will probably be an incomplete for one of the 2 drivers on course now.
But with the momentum that he has, Riley ended up trying to come back in towards inside clip 1. It looked like he had nowhere to go. So we're just going to keep looking at it, though.
Just going to stare at it blankly.
Well, I'm glad my intuition and your intuition is in line with Ryan a little bit. Makes me feel a little bit more comfortable.
Wait, we know what we're talking about?
Hey, guys, never mind. I changed my mind.
Wait, what's going on here? Now that's an avocado-eating dog. Look, waterfalls. All right, so as we continue to look at this, you can see Sexsmith. Yeah, the Canadian flags are waving. I don't get it, but you have Stars and Stripes shorts. You're very conflicted, young man. Very conflicted.
Let's take a look at this, Jared. You can actually see from that first angle, and you'll see right here as well that Gauthier was on the brakes, as Ryan was saying. You can actually see the third brake light there. So it does look like he was trying to avoid. Obviously, we saw Sexsmith make that mistake. So I think it's leaning towards Sexsmith at this point, but yet to get an official call from the judges.
All right, so again, this maybe gives us an opportunity for some of the smoke to clear. We still have Dylan Hughes versus Knappich in that one more time, as well as Ryan Littoral versus Jeff Donati from Ohio. Littoral coming all the way from California, but his car operated by Coro Works from right here in ATL. Five drivers already into the grade 8. Travis Reeder versus Kelsey Rawlings. Ola Jäger from Norway going against Andy Haley from Los Angeles. Kenrick Meyer from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Coincidentally, Doylestown, Pennsylvania, where Chris Forsberg and Tony Angelo are from. Then Dylan Hughes versus Knappich, and Lantain, I hear your headset coming on.
Yeah, that's me. Well, so we came down to a vote to see who was going to be at fault for the collision, and we voted 2-1 in favor of the chase car. So that means that the lead car was at fault for the collision. We deemed it an unchaseable lead run essentially in that area. The chase car, we're asking them to be close. We're saying you need to be close throughout the entire run. And in this case, we have to protect the chase. The lead car made a very large error there. The chase car is close. He was clearly on the brakes, trying to not get in the way of the lead, but just couldn't get out of his way in that section right there.
So you said 2-1. That means somebody was in dissent. I have to imagine that's because they thought that the lead car basically has the right of way. Essentially, is that what you suspect?
Yeah, he said that he figured that he felt like the chase car should have given the right of way to the lead car in that situation.
All right.
Yeah.
So Riley Sexsmith is at fault. He was the lead car, and basically that would mean that Sébastien Gauthier would be able to get hands on his vehicle, not utilizing his competition timeout. Riley Sexsmith would have to use a competition timeout, his 5-minute allotment, to put hands on the vehicle because he was at fault. So looks like we will advance on to what was to be our final battle. But Ryan Littoral, he had issues with his vehicle in pro. Him and both Kevin Lawrence are doing double duty. Unfortunately, Ryan Littoral did not qualify in pro. He had some issues with his wiring harness, but he is here in Pro 2. And then Kevin Lawrence didn't qualify in Pro 2, but he did qualify in the Pro Championship. So right now, we are seeing Ryan Littoral pull to the start line, I believe, just cutting through that smoke. Or is this, no, sorry. It looks like this is Dylan Hughes. So we're going back to Dylan Hughes and Adam Knapik. So this is the one more time battle. Adam Knapik from Orange County. He's piloting this this S14. Really nice, nice young man. Came and introduced himself to me yesterday. Tell me about his story and his road. As Dylan Hughes will lead that race service S13. Dylan Hughes qualified second. Adam Knapik qualifying 15th. All right, so the light's illuminating the smoke here. And here they go down the hill. All right, Dylan Hughes out front. Adam Knapik in that chase position. Dylan Hughes comes into that first front clip. Transitions up the hill. Let's see how he navigates into that first outer zone. Small little correction there. Gets that outer zone. Adam Knapik right there. See some braking from Knapik. Adjusting to Dylan Hughes. And Dylan past that front touch and go into that front clip. And Dylan Hughes and Knapik, a solid heads-up battle.
Yeah, this is a much better chase run for Knapik, especially on the first section of the course. You can see Hughes, though, still consistent out front. Knapik was able to keep pace with them coming up the hill. There was much bigger separation on the first run. You can see that little flub right there by Hughes, but outside that, he's doing a really solid job here. Nice line through this inside clip. Knapik trying to gain a little bit more distance here as he comes through the smoke line, but Hughes nice and tight on this inside touch and go. Knapik through the smoke line, keeping pace here. Solid lead run for Dylan Hughes, putting himself in a good position here. And if he can correct that mistake in the chase run and his initiation, he's got a good opportunity to move forward here. And for Knapik, he knows what lead run Dylan just laid down. He's got to try to match or better that.
Here we go in the second half of this battle. Knapik out front, Dylan Hughes in the chase position. And there it is once again, Dylan Hughes with that wonky kind of initiation as Dylan Hughes gains that proximity. Knapik, a wide swing by Knapik. Now Hughes transitions out of the keyhole and now brings it around that final front clip.
It's a great chase by Hughes, Jared, but he did it again. Watch this. He goes for it, then he basically did the exact same thing he did in the first run, which forced it one more time, and it'll be a shame if that's what does it this time around, because the chase run from Hughes is pretty solid here. You can see Knapik out front. He doesn't fill that second outside zone. He goes very long on that inside clip, allowing the door to stay open for Hughes, who's keeping great pace here. I mean, this is an incredible chase run, but that initiation has just been a struggle for him in both of these chase runs. And as we go back and look at Dylan's lead run, you can see just how smooth he is on that initiation. Gets that inside clip. Knapik a little bit wild there, but he keeps pace. It's not as good of a chase run as Dylan's is, but Dylan has had that struggle on the initiation, kind of breaking it loose one way, going the other way, almost like a double initiation, and I think that is what forced the one more time the last time around.
Riddle me this, again, lead to lead, chase to chase. Do you think Knapik is playing it safe by giving himself enough distance as opposed to Dylan Hughes trying to be on the door from the jump? Maybe he should have kicked back because Knapik did have about 2 car lengths between them.
Yeah, I mean, it really comes
lead
down
to lead, chase to chase.
It comes down to the strategy that you're looking for. I mean, you know, you got to talk to your spotter. Here's the side-by-side. Give you an idea of what both runs look together, pretty timed up. You can see Hughes much closer here. Really good job. Knappich not filling that second outer zone. Hughes does fill that second outer zone in the lead position. I mean, it's pretty clear to me that Hughes was the better overall driver, with one exception. It's that initiation.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's great. Some fun observations here. This is an interesting battle. Again, why that's an opportunity for Dylan to leave that in the judges' hands, but overall, you know, a great Pro 2 battle right there. I mean, that's a pro caliber right there. We could see that tomorrow in top 16 from the pro class. So again, one more battle here in the, no, sorry, 1.5 more battles left if we get a decision here, because the Sexsmith-Gauthier battle, and you know, what a shame for Sexsmith, not taking anything away from Gauthier, but Sexsmith qualified number 3, looked like an absolute shredder in that 2JZ. I believe it's a BRZ or is it 86? Nobody's clarified for me. Okay, so results are in. Are they going to one more time, or is it Dylan Hughes? So slide him left for Knappich or right for Dylan Hughes. The dozer advances on, and Lantain, want to get some elaboration from you. We are elaborating on that entry, but like I said, lead to lead, chase to chase.
Yeah, lead to lead, chase to chase. Dylan just did a better job. He had a little awkward entry in the chase position, but his proximity throughout the entire run was phenomenal. He did a really good job of mimicking the lead car. And while following a lead driver that was making some errors, he made some corrections. He was off of outside zone 2. He was way off of inside clip 2. But yet Dylan stayed with him and did a much better job. And Dylan just had a cleaner lead run.
I think all of us saw, obviously, with his wonky chase run, how close was he to an incomplete on that initiation?
That always, it depended between the three of us. We didn't like it, but he still did a better job overall.
All right, cool. Let's move on. Here we go. Thank you. Congratulations to Dylan Hughes. He'll be going against that of Kenrick Meyer, who took out David Mesker. So this is to be our final battle, but we still have another half, and we'll see if Sexsmith or Gauthier are able to get their cars up and running order. And here we go. This is Ryan Littoral, the Coro Works Nissan Z, going against Jeff Donati in that teal S13. Ryan Littoral will lead. He qualified 6th, and Donati qualifying 11th. Ryan Littoral throwing it in, using all of the track, a kind of a straight line approach. You'd like to see more angle from him. Oh, and Donati shuts her down. Donati shuts her down. Let's see a yellow flag. Let's see a yellow flag here. That good. Okay, so that of Ryan Littoral.
Well, let's take a look here and see what happens to Donati. You can see early initiation there for Littoral, right by that second standing cone. Donati right through that first inside clip, loses the front end. He goes to an incomplete. Now at this point, we would need to see a complete run from Littoral, but you can see the flagger there, waved it for a little bit there. Littoral passed on through, was able to make it through safely, so he'll be fine with his lead run. It'll be an incomplete for Donati, and now they will switch things up. Donati will go to the lead position, and Ryan Littoral will chase him down.
All right, so again, that got a little sketchy, got a little hairball there as again, the yellow flag was waved. He just unfortunately did not see it as he came through the keyhole. But now Donati with an obvious disadvantage here. Littoral out of the gate, needs to gain some ground. What has Donati got? Littoral right there, mixing it up. Yeah, doggy. Oh, doctor, look at that. Littoral getting gangster within that 909. Woo, us versus them. What's up? Nice job by Ryan Littoral. And just think, Littoral doesn't need to throw down that hard. He has the obvious advantage, but far from an inactive chase. Ryan literally throwing down again.
Well, very aggressive there from Ryan Literal for our benefit when he didn't need to. You can see already very close to the rear bumper of Donati through that first inside clip. Both drivers cleanly through that section of the course. Now coming up the hill is Donati. You can see a little bit of flub there from Literal in the chase position, but keeping the pressure on. Nice job right here to get super close through that inside clip. Now through the smoke line, little bit of separation. Literal back on the throttle, moving through that last inside clip and through the finish line. So really good pressure there by Ryan Literal. Let's take a look at the first run again, Jared. This is where the incomplete's gonna happen. Right here, Donati loses the front end and nearly goes into the kitty litter. Literal is able to get this clean pass through. He's got clean air all the way through. Our flagger right there letting him know, but he went for it anyways.
Nah. I don't need no yellow flags. Yeah, that Coro Works Z, nice job by him. But Donati. Hey, how you doing? Hi, here's a yellow flag. Might want to slow down. All right, here we go. The Achilles tire top 16 and slide him right for Ryan Literal. Gets the win over Jeff Donati. And one half of a battle left between Sexsmith and Gauthier. And we'll have our grade 8 shaped. Reader versus Kelsey Rawlings. Ola Jaeger from Norway versus Los Angeles' own Andy Haley. Dylan Hughes defeats Knappich after one more time. He's going against Kenrick Meyer. And then finally, Ryan Literal against the winner of this battle. Again, unfortunately for Riley Sexsmith, has that mistake. And that is a disadvantage for him. So now Sexsmith will chase down Gauthier. Again, the conflicted young man down here in the Stars and Stripes shorts waving the Canadian flag. Really don't know who he's pulling for here. He's half American, half Canadian, but there's an all-Canadian battle. Go figure. Yeah, I get it. It's late, bro. Oh, he's got a Molson tank top on. You're confusing even more. Jeez. He's got German underwear. Here we go. Sebastian Gauthier out front. Oh, and look, Sebastian makes a mistake. Sebastian Gauthier makes a mistake. How is that going to unfold? And Sexsmith goes off course. Welcome to the Canadian Twilight Zone. We have gone and found a time where these two drift cars have a wacky run. Ryan, go ahead. I'll let you dissect this one. What happened there?
Well, it kind of a similar thing, except for Sexsmith kind of stays in it here. You can see Gauthier has some problems. It may have even rubbed right there, but Sexsmith stays in it, and they continue the run. I mean, had Sexsmith stopped after he made contact with them, if he indeed did make contact, I think they would have given an incomplete to Gauthier. But then you can see Sexsmith basically goes off course, comes back into the picture here, playing catch-up now. So quite a few mistakes from Gauthier out front. Then Sexsmith up at the top of the keyhole makes that mistake where he loses the front end and goes off course. Let's take a look at this again. Watch, he tries to initiate, he doesn't, brings the wheels back to about zero, and then reinitiates. So again, really on that fine line of an incomplete, and if that is the case, then it would be a situation where both drivers have incompletes in the lead position, which would mean an automatic one more time. But I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's possible.
Lontaine goes all the way against you, right? Hey, BRZ or 86? Scores are in. And which way are they going? Slide them left for Gauthier, right for Riley Sexsmith. And Ryan says one more time. Andy and Brian. Andy says Sexsmith. All right, and one more time. Okay, so that was a one more time. Ryan, you wanted the one more time.
Yeah, we basically, Brian and I both agreed that They both zeroed out, essentially, they incompleted on initiation. They both made essentially the same error and came to the point where the chase car really wasn't in the position to do a good chase run. This is the situation that we don't like seeing, where we got some poor runs from both drivers. This isn't the reason for one more time, essentially, but it's the only choice we have in this situation. Andy, because he earlier deemed the chase car to be at fault, went with Riley Sexsmith, so that's why his vote was different.
All right, so that kind of, that skewed things considerably there in Andy's eyes. Okay, so we are to see that one more time battle, but I believe, were we going to move on to the grade 8? That's fantastic. All right, so again, Reeder and Kelsey Rawlings will be the first battle of the grade 8. But we will revisit that one more time between Sexsmith and Gauthier. All right, so we are throwing, I'm overhearing the officials. Reeder and Rawlings will be our first battle of the grade 8. Ola Jaeger versus Haitley. Hughes versus Myers, Meyer, excuse me. And then Literal versus the winner of Sexsmith and Gauthier. And download the app if you haven't already. Download the Formula Drift app. Just go into your app store, go into Google Play, download the app. I have it. Also, you can win prizes. Not only are you getting updates, exclusive content and videos, but you can win prizes via some reward points. So go ahead and download the app and get the updates. Win a set of wheels. Tag a photo of you watching this weekend's event, hashtag FD Drifts, and enter to win a free set of Drifts wheels, as run by Odie Bakshish on his Falcon Tires S14. So again, win some Drifts wheels, hashtag FDDRIFZ. All right, so here we go. Reeder will lead. Kelsey Rawlings will give chase for our first battle in the Nexen Tire Grade 8. Again, Nexen Tire and Achilles Tire, providers exclusively for the Pro 2, the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship. Here we go. Reeder, our #1 qualifier, going against Kelsey Rawlings, #9 qualifier. Travis Reeder, his first battle here in 2018 in the Pro 2 Championship. Past that front flip, navigates past it. Kelsey just barely knocks it over. Reeder into that first outside zone, transitions in as Reeder. You see Reeder grabbing a little e-brake there, no problem. Rawlings, a wide swing, and that forward powered, way off course. And Reeder consistently, great angle. Only flaw I saw from Reeder was he didn't get all the way to the outside second zone in the keyhole.
Well, he was fighting for a championship last year, so the very high caliber Pro 2 driver, nice early initiation. You can see rolling into that first inside clip quickly back on the throttle, and you can see how it gives him this huge gap here. Now Rawlings is going to try to close the door. This is where you talk about, Jared, where he kind of didn't go as deep as he possibly could, but watch this. Kelsey's going to get lost in the smoke line here. She's going to transition too early, goes a little off-roading there, and then loses even more of a distance to Travis Reeder. So this should be a pretty sizable advantage for him, at least in between runs here. He's got a nice lead. Kelsey's got some work to do in her lead to match that, and Reeder now understands what he needs to do in order to move on. He's got to keep the pressure on and not let Kelsey get away.
All right, so here we go with the second half of this battle. Kelsey Rawlings will lead. Travis Reeder will give chase. Look, a little track cleanup there. Got the cones back in their proper locations. All right, looks like that the cone on the inside of the course, just that is a course indicator, sorry. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for our hardworking staff and team, making sure the car and track is up to snuff. Happy birthday to AJ Anderson, 25 years old, man. Can't believe it. There you go, buddy. Yep, happy birthday, AJ. All you, buddy. All right, so now we are ready to go. The track is in order. You see the red lights illuminate. Let's see them extinguish. Send it for the second half of this battle. Rawlings versus Reeder. The Ford power plant under the hood of that S14. Reeder with the LS. Here we go. Rawlings, straight line approach. Reeder, identical. Right there, let's see him. Good transition for both of them. Rawlings really working into that first outer zone, into the second. She brings it out there. Cannot shake Reeder. Reeder right there, almost grinding the door. Rawlings powers past the front. A great lead run by Rawlings. Ryan?
Well, we've seen a few drivers in the chase position not be able to anticipate the initiation from the lead driver, but Reeder gets a good read on the initiation here in the chase position. Does a great job tucking up on the inside here, not letting Kelsey get away. You can see he's keeping his distance, but he's keeping it close enough that he knows after that solid lead run, he does this, he should have enough to move on. Through the smoke line now, coming down the hill. Rawlings out front, nice job through that inside touch and go, and then wrapping through that final inside clip. She goes a little bit wide. And there you can see Travis Reeder following up pretty closely. So good run back and forth there, but I think Travis Reeder's got this one locked up.
All right, so as slide him left for Rawlings, right for Reeder, and Travis Reeder unanimously gets the win. A solid job by Kelsey Rawlings, but Travis Reeder, just a dominant performance from him. And you can see Sexsmith there in that NV Auto 2JZ 86. BRZ. 2JZ BRZ. See, I told you. It's completely confused. He threw me off with it because you would think a Toyota 2JZ power plant you'd be an 86, but no, it's a BRZ. You're Canadians, you're Subaru guys. I should have known. All right, the NV Auto 2JZ BRZ pulls to the line. Maybe a bit of redemption here for him. He had just a blazing hot boy run in qualifying. He's definitely going to stay away from the dirt on this run. Qualifying third, and Sebastien Gauthier there in qualifying 14th. All orange, all Canada battle. And Sebastien Gauthier pulls to the start line. Again, this is digressing back to the Achilles Tire Top 16. We are live here at Road Atlanta. And here we go. So this is a complete one more time battle between Sexsmith and Gauthier. And Sexsmith throws it in. Keeps it out of the dirt. Nice job by Sexsmith, and there goes Gauthier off course. And Sexsmith now just needs to keep it clean, and that will be a caution for him. It looks like he will shut it down as he passes Gauthier in the kitty litter. And we will be cleaning up some gravel here from Gauthier.
Well, much better job by Riley this time around in his lead run. Really got a good jump, was able to initiate cleanly, got back on the throttle, and Gauthier with that mistake here. Take a look at this. You can see nice, clean initiation. But there he's back on the throttle, and then Gauthier just not able to anticipate the line that was being drawn by Gauthier, or excuse me, by Sexsmith. Goes off course. and that should be an incomplete for him. And a reversal of fortune here. It was Sexsmith that was looking troublesome, at least for 2 of the 3 judges on that first run, and now it's Gauthier in that position.
All right, so Gauthier trying to get out, but it seems that he will get a tow. We'll get him out in that SSG Motorsports. Again, the second half of this battle here momentarily. All right, so the car is being pulled out of the kitty litter, and we will get that cleaned up. But I'm sure Sebastian Gauthier just got a few pebbles in his rims, but the action will continue. Bass 111 underscore Bass underscore 111 on that SSG S14. He's going to drive and shake the dirt out here, drive up the grass, and make sure that doesn't bring any more gravel out here on track. Man, Ryan, what are some of the memorable moments for you here at Road Atlanta?
Well, the first year obviously is super memorable. Just seeing you know, all the work that the Road Atlanta track had done in order to pave this thing was amazing.
Right.
You know, the monster truck, Von Gittin Jr., Frederick Osbo, heard around the world. There's always been, that's been a big one. I think that's in the front of almost everybody's mind. 2015, you know, we saw the resurgence of Ken Gucci. This was, I can actually remember in my head him coming up the hill, closing the door, coming up into the horseshoe and being like, wow, he looks like a much different driver. And prior to that in Long Beach, you know, he was really bummed out about his performance, and they made some changes to the car, and it made all the difference in the world, and he was fighting for a championship that year. So those are the few that come to mind, but there's a ton. I mean,
how about Andy Yen losing a wheel?
Andy Yen losing a wheel. One more times with Taka Iono and Samuel Huguenet, where Taka's car was about to blow up. So there's a lot.
And David versus Goliath, Alex Pfeiffer versus Samuel Huguenet as well. Here we go, the second half of this battle. The second half of this battle, Gauthier out front, Sexsmith in that chase position. They keep it where the rubber meets the road, no kitty litter involved. As Sexsmith knows he needs to play it cool, play strategic here as Gauthier firing off. Oh! And Sexsmith loops it. Come on, guys. What? Like, this is like Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Harding right now.
Before you get too excited, I know what Lantane's going to say. It's a 0 in the chase for both runs, so it's going to come down to the comparison of the leads.
There you go.
I was actually going to say we should send them both back to Canada, but that's not.
Yes!
As a Canadian,
Sorry,
I'm allowed to say that.
You are Canadian. You are allowed to say that. Yes, that was the most violent thing I've ever heard you say on a microphone. Oh, man. All love for Gauthier and Sexsmith, but we were moments away from seeing Sexsmith grab the victory there, Ryan.
Yeah, well, we'll see what the judges think here. I mean, at least by the books, when you get 2 zeros in the chase, it's a comparison of the lead. So, you know, it still may be an okay situation for Sexsmith, but it's really going to come down to what the judges think. Here you go. You want to see the leads, lead against lead. Here it is here. I'll just let it play out and you guys be the judge. So who had the better of the 2 leads?
So lead versus lead. Sexsmith and Gauthier.
Now Sexsmith is going to disappear out of the picture here. And so let's watch Gauthier for the rest of the run. What do you think, Jared?
Man, I liked Sexsmith's tenacity right out of the front, right out of the gate. He was aggressive. I liked what he was doing, but that's just a hard call. It's just silly. I mean, both of them lose. Oh, that was yeah. I mean, Gauthier, you know, again, this is their second opportunity here. All right, so got some race officials out there getting up with Gauthier. So results are in. All right, so and let's slide them left for Sebastian, right for Sexsmith. Ryan says Riley Sexsmith. Brian says one more time. Andy says Riley Sexsmith gets the win. And you know what? You better pick up his act there, Sexsmith. Better pick up your act, kiddo. All right, so Riley Sexsmith, what's up with your people, dude? Ready to send you back. Not allowed back in the country. So Sexsmith advances, all that zaniness, and Sexsmith does advance 2-1. And again, we now have a great 8 shaped. Reeder and Kelsey. Okay. All right, so one driver already in the final 4 right now. It is Ulla Jaeger from Norway qualifying 4th, going against Andy Haitley, who qualified 5th. So this is a fairly equally matched battle here. And looks like we are clear to send. Thumbs up from the drivers. The light is triggered. And here we go. Jaeger out front, Haitley in that chase position. We got a clean start. Jaeger in that super big feint entry there in front of Haitley. Haitley with that straight line approach. Jaeger into that first outer zone. Haitley having a tough time hanging with Jaeger. So Haitley taking a very shallow line to gain that ground. But that Supra, really powerful through the keyhole, just powers down the rest of the course, Ryan.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I haven't seen Jaeger do that aggressive of an initiation coming across the course like that, breaking it loose. Had Haitley been closer, we could have had some issues there, but Haitley stays back a little bit here. You can see Jaeger coming up the hill, tiny bit of wavering from the front end, unable to reach out to that second outer zone, but Haitley as well sees that he's got some distance to cover. He takes that tight line. Now coming out of the keyhole down the hill here, Jaeger hits that inside touch and go, wrapping around that final inside clip with about 2 car lengths distance. Here it is again, breaking it loose. Haitley trying to time it right. Getting a little out of whack there. You can see the front wheels moving around quite a bit from Haitley as he makes those adjustments. And now we'll switch things up, Jared. Andy Haitley going to the lead. Ulla Jaeger chasing him down.
All right, so Haitley pulling out the knife. See if he can chop down this Norwegian driver. Haitley quickly out of the chicane, this LS-powered E30, great-looking car. Wow, really lifting, sliding into that first front clip. Now Haitley comes in, oh, and a massive overshooting. And Haitley looks like he's just going to salvage his car. Didn't want to get back into it. And there's going to be a lot of dust here in the air. And that'll mean Ulla Jaeger will advance on. So,
well, that was interesting. I mean, there is only passing on inside clips, so that would be an acceptable area to pass. Let's take a look at this. As you can see, Haitley A little bit of wavering from the front wheels. He goes real off course here. Jaeger
Least
just
3
floors
tires
it,
off.
and then right there as Haley was coming back around, he actually bows out there. So like you said, maybe a smart move by Haley to save the car, knowing that he probably incompleted going off course anyways. Allows Jaeger to go through. I love to hear what Ryan has to say about that, but that was my perspective on that particular part of the call.
You're absolutely right, Ryan. Nothing to add.
And it looked like 3 tires off even.
Yeah, it was a lot
And
of wheels
Ula
off.
Jaeger, 3 tires. Ula Jaeger gets the victory unanimously.
Many tires off. It was definitely a clear loss of
11
control.
tires.
11 tires.
11 tires went off.
The majority of the tires.
So that means 3 out of the 4. So with that being said, yeah, I'm glad that Andy saved the car. I'd rather see him at a future round of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship than get back into Ula Jaeger and not for nothing, you know, get into that tussle. So again, we are halfway through the Grade 8. So 2 drivers in the Final 4, Reeder versus Jaeger. It'll be Reeder versus Jaeger, and then next up in the Grade 8, in the next entire Grade 8, Hughes versus Kenrick Meyer. Kenrick Meyer in that E36 BMW going against Dylan Hughes, who went one more time against Adam Knapik. Got the John Deere out there on track, cleaning it up, making sure this is tight and right. We are live here at round 1 of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship. Next stop for the Pro 2 Championship will be St. Louis. Then on to Seattle, and then finally Irwindale. The next stop for the Pro Championship is New Jersey, the first weekend at Wall Stadium. FDNJ, hashtag FDATL, and hashtag FDPro2. Still got plenty of Nexen and Achilles tires to burn up here at Road Atlanta, both tonight and tomorrow night, and more tire companies joining us tomorrow night as we have Pro Championship top 32 action. And Dylan Hughes will lead in this battle as he qualified 2nd compared to Kenrick Meyer, who qualified 10th. All right, here we go. We're ready to send it here. The Dozer, Dylan Hughes versus Kenrick Meyer. Dylan Hughes comes into that first clip. Dominant fashion here. Kenrick, whoa! And he loops it. Kenrick Meyer really flirting with. Now throw out the, oh, that was close. All right, so Dylan Hughes continues through the course. Kenrick Meyer really struggling to hang with Dylan. And Hughes makes easy work of that. Unfortunately, Kenrick in that chase position goes off course.
Well, this should be an easy strategy here on this second run for Dylan Hughes. He was able to lay down a clean lead run, but the run was over for Kenrick Meyer pretty much right out of the gate. You can see he just gets out of whack there. He's out of the picture here. Hughes is going to continue the run. Does a great job filling that second outer zone. Nice, smooth, clean line through that inside clip, transitioning back around down the hill. And Dylan Hughes continues to look great in his lead runs. Solid performance overall. And now he knows what he needs to do here in the chase.
Kenrick Meyer will get the clean air, or just a lot of smoke in the air. But saying that, he is in lead position. And Ryan, as you said, some strategy here. We don't want to see an inactive chase, but he definitely doesn't need to apply the pressure that we saw from his previous battle against Adam Knapik. By the way, Travis Reeder guaranteed a podium. Here we go. Adam Knapik, or sorry, yes, sorry, Kenrick Meyer. Kenrick Meyer initiates. Kenrick Meyer initiates with Dylan Hughes in the chase position. Kenrick into that second outer zone. Dylan Hughes Keeps it close, but knows it doesn't need to be a championship winning chase, given that Kenrick had that mistake. So Kenrick finishes it out. Dylan Hughes keeps it conservative and will get the victory unofficially. Ryan?
Yeah, pretty good job here by Dylan, keeping it consistent, giving a little bit of room here. Good strategy. Don't want to let him get too far away, but overall, you can see Kendrick out front. Nice job on that second outer zone. This is where Dylan closed the door. Should be an easy victory here to move on.
Slide him left for Meyer, slide him right for Hughes, and Dylan Hughes unanimously gets the victory and advances on to the Final Four. So Reeder versus Jaeger and Hughes versus the winner of our next battle, Sexsmith and Literal. Two rocket ships of vehicles against Sexsmith in that 2JZ BRZ, and then you have that Nissan Z of CoralWorks and Ryan Literal. All right, so Literal will lead. No, sorry. It should be Sexsmith leading, and that is him pulling to the start line. So Sexsmith will lead. Ryan Literal warming up his tires in the background there. And Literal one more turn and burn here, and ideally pulls up to the start line. And we'll have our final battle of the next entire Great 8. All right, here we go. Like I said, the winner of this battle going against Dylan Hughes in the Final Four. And here we go, Sexsmith in that lead position, Literal in the chase. Here we go, fellas. Sexsmith using all the course, gets into the rumble strips. Not as deep as he did earlier. Nice composure there from Ryan Literal. He knows that Sexsmith's got a rocket ship. Big angle there from Sexsmith. But Ryan Literal keeps it tight. Nice job by Ryan Literal. Transitions out of the keyhole and into that final front flip. Sexsmith using all the course, getting into the dirt. Ryan, a good heads-up battle for Sexsmith and Literal.
Yeah, Sexsmith looking a little bit more composed this time around. You can see gets a nice solid initiation here. Gets back on the throttle just a bit past that first inside clip. And you can see Literal playing catch up, drops that front right wheel. And then here Sexsmith not able to reach out to that second outer zone. Low angle there by Ryan Literal, but he keeps the proximity pretty close. Goes a little bit off course here. Sexsmith trying to tune in this line through this last inside clip. Also goes a little bit deep there. So obviously some places where Ryan Literal can do better than Riley Sexsmith in the lead. And we saw Literal close the door, then back off a little bit low angle. So both drivers having some mistakes where spotters can say, hey, look, if you do this better in this particular place, you might be able to force it one more time. It may even give you the win. As the judges looking at both leads, both chases, and who did better overall.
All right, so let's alternate the order. Literal will now lead, Sexsmith giving the chase. We got a clean start, no cones were hit in the making of this battle. Woo, Literal, Sexsmith right there. Oh, doctor, we got contact, but Literal stays in it. Literal stays in it with Sexsmith nudging him around. As Sexsmith attacks once again, and Sexsmith goes at it again, but Ryan Literal takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Oh, doctor, look at this, we got a battle on our hands. Whoa! Sexsmith goes into the wall! The crowd is going wild here in Atlanta. Ryan, 2 contacts with vehicles, and then 1 contact with the wall.
Wow, that was unbelievable. Let's take a look at this here. Ryan Literal out front. Sexsmith very aggressive on the chase. Right there touching the back bumper, but Literal stays in it. Sexsmith now closing the door. Literal's bumper dragging on the ground. Literal's trying to shoot out towards this second outer zone, but Sexsmith on the inside hits him again. And then through that that second inside clip coming down the hill here, I think Literal is starting on fire here, but Sexsmith gets lost in the smoke, goes off course before the finish line and hits the wall.
Unbelievable. Make some noise, Atlanta and around the world. Ryan Literal shredding it, bro. Us versus them. Koru works. Voodoo Ride, unbelievable job there by Ryan Literal, and a great aggressive job by Sexsmith. But I got to tell you, Literal's staying in it here, and it looks like his car was in the right place. He was wrapping it around. It's not like he was bulking up where Sexsmith was in the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's rubbing there, if it's the wheel that's coming, or the tire that's coming off and the rim that's on the ground causing that spark. But you can see Sexsmith, when he transitioned, he was on the wrong line. He got lost in the smoke. And then watch, right here, he's going to go off course before the finish line. So that's going to be an incomplete for Sexsmith no matter what, and putting Ryan Literal in good position there. And actually, I think his tire fell off as he was going up the course.
All I got to say, it was lit. A roll.
Yeah.
Sick run here. I mean, just an exciting battle. Everybody was just on their feet here at Road Atlanta, and boom. See contact. Shredding that back bumper. You know, Ryan Little's been doing a lot of driving at events like Grid Life and Circuit Spirit as well in California. What's up, Cole Seeley? How we doing? And yeah, taking a look at this NV Auto. And hey, man, you know what? Hats off to Riley Sexsmith, right? Make some noise for both these guys. Ryan Literal, Riley Sexsmith. This was our final battle of the Great Eight. And our final four should be set. We're taking a look. This is the first run here, Sexsmith and Literal.
Yeah, so looking at the first run again, this was when Sexsmith had a pretty solid lead out front. Literal struggled a little bit in the chase, but started to close the door here. You can see he's going to be down on the angle, but he's able to keep proximity through the horseshoe. Then he drops off course here. Sexsmith goes a bit wide on that inside touch and go, and also on that last inside clip. But really, that second run was Sexsmith in the chase going off.
Yeah, that was wild, man. A wild, wild ride there for these two drivers. And we will get Sexsmith off course, and I believe that's going to be we'll get a verdict here. And we should have a verdict here. All right, so as the verdicts come in, we will get Sexsmith off course here. All right, so the results are in, and Ryan Literal gets the victory. Ryan Literal gets the victory. We will be cleaning up the vehicles. Riley Sexsmith off course, so the final four is set. Reeder from the Pacific Northwest against Ola Jaeger, and then Dylan Hughes from the Pacific Northwest as well, going against Ryan Literal from the 909. When we come back, the final four here at the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship. This is round one here at Road Atlanta. Welcome back to Road Atlanta. This is round one of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship. The final four is set. Travis Reeder at the top of the hill, warming up his tires, going against Ola Jaeger from Norway. Travis Reeder, second overall last year in the Pro 2 Championship. Ola Jaeger, I got to tell you, it seems like a different Toyota Supra from last year to this year. That car has seen a lot of track time with Frederick Osbo behind the wheel, notably at the Red Bull Drifting World Championship and then in the Formula Drift Championship. And now Ola Jaeger is making a name for himself. That car looks like a rocket ship. I know Rad Dan has helped him out tremendously out of Southern California. So, obviously, the caliber of build is stepped up tremendously. Travis Reeder, that LS-powered S13. So a lot of LSs now in the Final Four, 3 to be exact, compared to the 2J, the Toyota Supra of Ola Jaeger. All right, so Jaeger pulling to the start line. This is the first battle of the Final Four, and let it be known, Travis Reeder will podium at minimum 3rd place. If he loses, he gets 3rd place. If he wins, he obviously fights for that number 1 and number 2 spot. So here we go, Travis Reeder, Ola Jaeger for our first battle of the Final Four. What's red all over and about to tear up the track? These two gentlemen, Travis Reeder, Ola Jaeger. Reeder rockets out. Jaeger with that faint entry. Reeder straight line into that first front clip. Into the first outer zone goes Reeder, Jaeger. Reeder, a bit of hiccup, but not a large disruption there in his line. Now back out of the keyhole. Reeder throwing massive angle there at that quick touch and go. Reeder just seems to have great forward grip with massive angle there. Really good job there by Reeder.
Well, as we said, Jared, he was very much in the championship chase last year, initiating right at that last standing cone, back on the throttle pretty early there, establishing a little bit of separation as Jaeger tries to close the door, coming into the keyhole. An opportunity here with the grip of his vehicle, but then Reeder gets back on it, leaves him again coming out of the keyhole, nice and tight through that inside touch and go, and then great job on that final inside clip. So Reeder establishing a solid lead. Now they'll switch it up. Jaeger goes to the lead, and Reeder will chase him down, and we've got a hard cut at midnight here. So
we got to wrap it up. We got to wrap it up, boys. No more one more times. Let's see who's going to do the thrashing here. All right, so Jaeger will lead, and Reeder will give chase. All right, so again, join us for the podium right here. We've actually moved the podium to the top here as opposed to all the way down at the bottom. So the podium just behind the judging tower, just off to the left. All right, here we go. The second half of this battle. Who's going to the finals, Reeder or Jaeger? Jaeger will lead. Reeder will give chase. Jaeger had a big faint entry here. Hopefully his spotter let him know that. And there goes Jaeger into the first front clip. Reeder lunging forward. Shimmies, has to back off a little bit there as Jaeger in that second outer zone. Now Reeder dropping into formation. Out of the keyhole goes Reeder. Into the dirt goes Reeder and Jaeger. And Reeder. Jaeger and Reeder.
Well, here we go. You can see Jaeger. He is now clearly doing that big initiation, one side of the track to the next. Gets through that first inside clip. It'll really be interesting to compare the leads because you can see Reeder does make some mistakes in the chase, but he is much more the aggressor. And Reeder was able to get a little bit deeper into that second outer zone in his lead run here. You can see Reeder keeping the pressure on, and right there has to back off for a second. So you have to give him a lot of credit for the pressure. He made a couple mistakes. If his lead run is better than Jaeger's, it might take him over the edge here. As now the judges dissect this Final Four battle.
All right, so we are awaiting the verdict. Who's going to the finals? Like I said, Reeder will automatically get a podium finish. Reeder or Jaeger, who's going to the finals? Now, Reeder was in contention for the championship last year. Let's go to the results. Slide him left for Jaeger, right for Reeder. Ryan says Ola Jaeger. Andy says Travis Reeder. Brian says Ola Jaeger gets the win. Ola Jaeger gets the win. Now, Ryan Lontaine, you have your headset on. You were one of 2 drivers that sided with Ola, or Ula.
Drivers, huh? Judges.
What?
You just called us drivers.
Judges, sorry,
Judges.
it's late,
it's
dude.
Okay, it's all right. The main reason was Reader's chase. He was way off outside zone 1, way inside of the the keyhole, and then dropped 2, maybe 3 tires exiting the keyhole as well, going down the hill. So he made some major compromises.
All right. Again, Ryan said there's a hard cut at midnight, so we need to expedite this and get through it. Competition is key, but right now we need to find out who's going against Ola Jaeger. Again, Reader grabs that number 3 spot because he is our number 1 qualifier. Who's he going to go against? The Dozer, Dylan Hughes, or that of Ryan Literal in the finals? We're talking about Ola Jaeger. Dylan Hughes initiates. He is our number 2 qualifier. Big angle from Dylan Hughes. Transitions up the hill. Ryan Literal right there. Again, 2 LS-powered Nissans as into that second outer zone goes Dylan Hughes. And now Ryan Literal's the aggressor. Dylan Hughes bounces back. No problem for him as Ryan Literal chasing him down. Dylan Hughes and Ryan Literal, another knockdown, drag him out battle for Ryan Literal. Great lead run by Dylan Hughes, but Literal was everywhere he went, the gold shadow.
Yeah, Hughes once again very consistent out front. Literal really attacking here. You can see starts to pour on the pressure, gaining a little bit of ground coming up into the keyhole. Hughes trying to get deep into that second outer zone. Little bit of love tap right there by Ryan Literal. He backs off, tucks up in the pocket, comes down the hill. Hughes nice and tight through that inside touch and go. And then again right there, Literal, another attack right before the finish line.
All right, so now Ryan Literal will lead Dylan Hughes. All right, so Dylan Hughes looks like he might be calling a competition timeout as it affected the outcome of his vehicle. There was contact made. And this being the first portion of the battle, you don't want to throw it in there and have something go awry and completely wad the car. So Literal waits on the start line. All right, so again, Ola Jaeger waits in the wings, getting some fresh rubber underneath his vehicle. All right, so again, Ryan, we have a hard cut at midnight. We have our podium ceremony after this. What's that?
Not going to say anything, but I think what's going on here is because of the contact made by Ryan Literal, I think the team wants to allow permission to check the vehicle. Now, that is acceptable and allowed, and if they do find that there was damage to the vehicle because of the contact, then that would be, it would still be a judged run, but it would allow Dylan Hughes to not use his competition timeout in order to fix the vehicle. So they just want to get hands on it real quick and check it out to make sure that it is competitively sound.
All right, so Ryan, we are getting an update here that we literally do have a hard cut at 11:59. So that is a sound ordinance locally in the area. So what we are hearing is that there will be no PA, no podium after 11:59 if we do not complete it. So we are finding out that they are inspecting Dylan Hughes' car because the contact was created by Literal, or that has not been deemed yet, but they're saying, let's check out the car, see what's going on. I saw his spotter up here, which is actually coincidentally Chris Forsberg, saying the steering wheel is crooked, so they're gonna inspect the car, see what's going on here. They'll see who's at fault, so Dylan Hughes could have up to 10 minutes maximum 10 minutes to fix his vehicle and get it back to the start line.
Yeah.
Then after that, sorry, go ahead, elaborate.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, because of the hard cut at 11:59, it may be a situation where we don't even finish the finals, and that may have to be done tomorrow. So we're definitely running up into a really tight time crunch here. We're supposed to be done by 11:30. We've had a number of one more times. We've got a hard cut at 11:59. We are at Eastern Standard Time if you're watching globally on the live stream. So we will try to get as far into competition as we can. We will try to finish this, but there's always the possibility with 14 minutes left that we are going to be running very, very tight.
All right, so yeah, hard cut at 11:59. That's action, that's PA. Here we go. Ryan Littoral in the lead position. Dylan Hughes in the chase. Ryan Littoral into that first front clip. Dylan Hughes, Littoral getting into the dirt. Dylan Hughes chasing him down. Big angle from Littoral. A tighter line for Ryan Littoral as Dylan Hughes brings it out of the keyhole. Both of them dancing in the dirt. Now Ryan Littoral really pulling away from Dylan Hughes as they power back up the hill. Ryan, what do you got?
Well, let's take a look here. Littoral initiates very late past that last standing cone. I think that's going to hurt him. Hughes was able to make a good adjustment and not initiate too early, but initiate with the driver. And you can see here, very tight on that inside line is Ryan Littoral. Hughes having to make a little bit of adjustment there. Now coming down the hill is Ryan Littoral, going a little bit long on that touch and go. So not the greatest run from Ryan Littoral, especially on that initiation, getting way past that last standing cone.
All right, so going to the judges, let's see who's going to the finals. Make some noise for both these drivers, Dylan Hughes and Ryan Littoral. A great effort here. Again, hard cut at 11:59. Who's going to get the victory? As we are looking at it. All right, so it looks like this. All right, scores are in. Let's go to the judges. And here is the final battle, the final four. Slide them left for Littoral, right for Dylan Hughes, and Dylan Hughes gets the win. Hughes and Jaeger in the finals. Hughes and Jaeger in the finals. A hard-fought battle for Ryan Littoral, and I gotta say, him behind the wheel of that CoroWorks vehicle was phenomenal. So when we come back, the finals are here. We are pressed for time, and we are pressed to find out who gets the win here at round one of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship. Gary, what do you want, man? Calm down, chill out, bro. We gotta change tires and put some gas in. Chill out, King, and no time. We are about to continue the party when we come back here at round one of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship with Ula Jaeger and Dylan Hughes in the finals. Travis Reeder locks up that third place podium spot here at Road Atlanta. All right, so we are back. The finals are set. Ola Jaeger and Dylan Hughes. And the story of right now is that we have 8 minutes. 8 minutes to complete the entirety of this battle. 11:59 is our hard cut. We cannot have any PA go out to the house here. So we are trying to see if we can find out who the winner is going to be here between Dylan Hughes and Ola Jaeger, right?
So let's play a couple scenarios here. We get this first run in, and somebody has to call a competition timeout. We'd have to finish it tomorrow, probably. We get both runs in, it's a one more time. We'd have to finish it tomorrow, probably.
Okay.
We get both runs in, we get a winner. We're butting up against the time. PA goes down. We're probably telling everybody to go over to the podium, and you're going to be using your loud voice.
Yep, I'll be using my loud voice.
There's a lot of different options. We'll keep you guys posted. For live stream fans, as Jared said, we cannot have any PA or running cars past 11:59, and that basically puts us 8 minutes out.
All right, send him cars. Here we go. Again, the first half of this battle, Dylan the Dozer Hughes, Ola, take a shot, Jaeger. Here we go. Ola Jaeger, Dylan Hughes. Dylan Hughes in the lead position. He qualified second. Ola Jaeger with that feint entry. Dylan Hughes approaching that first front clip. Past the first front clip. Dylan Hughes, we got a clean start here. Into that first outer zone. Dylan Hughes massages it into that second outer zone. Ola Jaeger gains some ground. Looks like Dylan Hughes did have those corrections, allowing Ola to get close to him, but now pulling away back up past that final front clip. We got a clean course here. Nobody knocked over any clips. Turn them around, boys. Let's see who's going to get the win.
Well, this is what we've been seeing Dylan do pretty much all night. He starts off with a nice, solid lead run, and this is very pro-esque of Dylan. This is what a lot of the top pro drivers do. They really put their chase driver in a lot of pressure by going out and laying down a solid lead run. It puts that pressure on that chase driver to have the same kind of lead. Meanwhile, Jaeger is doing a pretty decent job in the chase. He never really pushed the pressure too much. We didn't really see too much door-to-door action, so that gives Dylan an opportunity. If he's able to stay closer for a majority of the run, duration of proximity, he's got a good opportunity to take the win here.
All right, here we go, the second half of this battle. We are counting down the clock, taking a look here. It's 11:53 local time. And again, 11:59 is our cutoff. If we have a victor, it might be down on track or it might be at the podium. Well, let's find out who's going to win here. Send it, Road Atlanta. Our first round of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship here at Road Atlanta. Ola Jaeger, Dylan Hughes. Ola initiates in that first front clip. Jaeger passed. Dylan Hughes passed it as well. Ola into the first outer zone. Into the keyhole goes that Toyota Supra. Doesn't get all the way to the outside zone. Dylan Hughes tightens it up to accommodate for that shallower line. Jaeger powers through and out of the keyhole. Dylan Hughes brings it around that final clip, and Hughes goes off course. Hughes goes off course. He overcooks it. And that could be all she wrote for Dylan Hughes.
Yeah, I think that is all she wrote. And you know what? The thing is, he was starting to push the pressure. He was looking like he might have had the better chase run. Very similar chase runs here. You can see Dylan makes a little bit of a mistake, but Jaeger really wasn't pushing the pressure either, and he didn't go as deep as Dylan did on his lead run in that section of the course. Now Hughes starts to close the door here, put some pressure on Ola Jaeger, but through this section of the course, we've seen this quite a few times, gets a little bit long and goes off course right in front of the finish line. That's pretty much going to be it. We'll send the drivers down. I have to imagine that there will be a victor after those two runs, and we should be good to go. But we will have to stop the live PA transmission in just 4 minutes, and that may not be enough time to do it over at the podium. So, Jared, you're going to have to be yelling.
All right, well, I'll use my outside voice over at the podium. All right, so we do have a victor. Let's pull him down here on the course. And we will announce the winner here on course, but also we'll be doing the podium. So it looks like we do have time, but I will be not using the PA over at the podium. We'll just be doing it for those that are intimate enough to hear my voice. So again, round one of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship. We'll bring them down here in the keyhole and celebrate our victors here. Again, Travis Reeder got third place. And who is our winner here? All right, so bringing them down here and quickly park them because we have 2 minutes here, according to Road Atlanta. Thank you, guys and gals. We'll be back here tomorrow for round 3 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, the Napa Auto Parts Road to the Championship, presented by Rain-X. Again, we are going to be seeing Top 32 tomorrow. Top 32 begins at 4:30, live stream at 4:15. Let's get them out of their cars. Make some noise. They step outside of their vehicles. Third place here, round 1 of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship. Travis Reeder, third place here at Road Atlanta. And your winner here at round 1 of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship, Ula Yeager gets the victory. Ula Yeager wins here at round 1 of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship, and that means second place goes to the Dozer, Dylan Hughes. Dylan Hughes gets second place here at the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship. Again, congratulations, Ula Yeager, Dylan Hughes, and Travis Reeder. Thank you, guys and gals, for joining us here at Road Atlanta. We'll be back here again tomorrow, 4:15 for Pro Top 32 competition. We'll see you at the podium. We'll see you online, and we'll see you another time. Send it, Road Atlanta.